In this practice session, I will with you through a few examples from the lecture. So first, I go to um, my computer, look for MySQL group, and then look for the MySQL command line. And then I will enter my root password, which is something that I cannot tell you, but that is the password that you give MySQL when you install your database. Okay, now I'm it's ready for me to type in a command. So the first command is let's try to create a database. So create a database, but I will have to give a different name. Create database. Let's say my SQL DB, and then semicolon, enter. That is a query. Okay, looks good now. Then I type in show databases, enter. Then you can see this is the database that I have just created, MySQL DB. And then if we want to use this database, then you have to type in use MySQL DB, and it's a database change. Then let's go back to the lecture. I create a table, right? And of course, probably you should copy to a text editor, remove those. Okay, so I have just pasted the code. And it's a query okay. And now I want to look at the tables. I want to show tables. You see, this is the only table that I have now. So you can see here, I have just added a number of columns. Open for open price, high, low, volume, and note, just like what you have seen in the lecture. And now I can look at the structure of the table. Right? I describe what? Describe stock prices. Now you see, right? The new columns or the new fields are open, high, low, volume, and notes. And here I have just dropped the column notes. So I type in and enter, and now it say query okay. And then I run describe again. Right now you don't see notes anymore. And then I modified stock ID, modify table, and modify the column stock ID and make it primary key. And it say okay, query okay, and it's done. And if I describe the table again, then you see here, right? This column is a primary key. And previously we don't see that. Now let's insert some data. Right? Let's insert some data. Insert into stock price with the first row with all the columns, and also I copy and run the second line. Insert some more data. So we have basically two records. So let's look at this table. Say star from stock prices, and now it shows me two records, right? Two records. One is AAPL Apple, and the other is MyCom. And then I update the second record, uh, replace the name, set the name by JM Core, and then I look at the data again, and now you can see the name. And finally, I want to delete that record, so I delete the record from the table, and now I look at the table. Now I see only one record. And finally, if I don't want to use to have the table anymore, then I delete, drop the table, stock prices, then it's done. And if I show tables again, then I don't see anything. Now we will try the John clause. So let's try the John clause. So I have just entered some SQL statement, and it gives me an error because I haven't used the database. So use Sakila, and then later on I can type in the select command. Actually, it's very long, so I have to abort the query. So that is the query for inner join that you can see in the lecture. And if you want to measure the number of records, then use the select count function that we mentioned in the lecture, right? It's actually exactly this example. Enter. So it gives you 5,462 records, and if you change from inner to right join, then it gives you three more records here, right? 5,465 records. If you want to get a list of staff ID, then select listing staff ID from payment. So it gives you staff ID 1 and 2. And if you want to see the number of payments processed by each staff, then run select count star from payment group by staff ID. Then it gives you the count for each staff. There are more examples that you can try using average, sum, mean, and max. If you want to try operators, so for example, select from actor info and you search for the string John in first name, and you run this. And this is the result. Actually, there are more records. I think it returns 3 records, 3 rows. And there are more examples with operators in the lecture that you can look.